Hi everyone, welcome to today's class. We are going to be spending a little bit of time in this video looking at how to finish our assignment for next week on Monday. So it's an assignment that will take a decent amount of time and you are able to build on what you already have in order to complete it. So I'm going to show you that process today. First, let's take a look at the assignment. If we go to the calendar, it's going to show that we have an assignment due on Monday. And as it's pulling up, I just want to remind you that this is something that you need to complete before you start your writing. So the next module will not open up for you until you are done with this final research log, and then we'll get into the writing. This is a source-based writing assignment, so you cannot start your writing formally until you have your sources down. Of course, you've done a lot of writing and you will do a lot of writing even for this final research log assignment, but you have to submit it and have a good understanding of your sources before you start writing. And that's something we can talk about more on Monday. So if I click on this final research log, it says you need to have a clean, updated research log with an updated line of inquiry, MLA bibliography for each source, and detailed research notes. Make sure you include your key considerations to discuss why the source is significant to your research, what perspective it includes, and how it compares with other sources and the credibility of the information. So this is just a reminder that in addition to quotes that you collect, you need to have this overview of the source to show how you see it fitting together with all your other sources. So let's go ahead and look at what a research log could look like. So for this, I actually used some research notes that I had for a previous line of inquiry that looked at creating a one-stop shop for students and helping the ASC and our TRIO program see how it could best serve students. So you'll see some of that in my line of inquiry. And one of the things I want you to notice is like up here, there's some chaos, right? I have a lot of ideas dumped down. I have a longer line of inquiry. I have a huge source list. And for this, it's cleaned, it's organized. The goal is that you use this final research log to build out your outline and then to write your paper. So the goal is to narrow down the research to that which is most significant, so that we, instead of dealing with like 50 pages of research from 7 different sources, we deal with 5, 6 pages of notes from 7 different sources. So you'll notice I have my line of inquiry. It still has my driving question, and my line of inquiry really focuses on the ideas and the questions that I've been able to answer, or maybe a more focused section of my questions. So we had this big idea to start. We pulled out the accordion. We saw the big perspective, and then as we read and researched, the work is to narrow it down. And so our line of inquiry, instead of focusing on this huge issue, should hopefully focus on one element of it. Okay, we can still have research that gives an overview of the issue, but the questions should be a little bit more limited in their scope. One of the things I want to say now, and I'll say it at the end too, as I'm going through this video, if you find yourself incredibly confused, overwhelmed, and you don't know what to do, my number one recommendation, since I am not there this week, is to set up a meeting at the Writing Center. Take your research, take this video, watch this video with a writing consultant, and ask them to help you with this process of taking all of your research and narrowing it down. This is some of the work that they do at the Writing Center. So if you feel overwhelmed, please set up an appointment with the Writing Center. I'll go over that a little bit more at the end of the video as well. So again, we have my line of inquiry, and then I have my research notes. And I have it set up in MLA formatting, and I've made sure that I have the capitalization correct, that I have things italicized, that I have this here. And the way that I did that is that I had the citations generated, but sometimes citations don't have things that they should have in them, even when they're generated. For example, up here, this says insert missing database name, insert missing service name. So I need to go back to the database, which is, it might have been JSTOR, Eric Online, it might have been EBSCOhost. So I need to go to this DOI and kind of double check, where did I have that from? Where did I get it from? Again, my internet is so special, so we just might take a minute. Okay, and so I was able to get it from this page, and so that's when I have to kind of find where this is from. Journal of Behavioral Medicine, Springer Link. That's something that I could put in right here, Springer Link database. Okay, so it can be pretty simple. The next thing that I want to make sure that I do is have this alphabetized by last name. Okay, so this is my first. I'm halfway down the alphabet. I don't have any sources for this that start with A, B, C, or D that I have the notes for already. So I'm starting with this. And then my notes, remember you had a number of different styles of notes that you could do. My notes, I decided to do a they say, I say. I have my quotes collected over here. I have a paraphrase collected over here. And then I have my thoughts over here. So what I would recommend before I continue on is that you pause the video. You create a new document that has your final research log, type up your current line of inquiry with your driving question, and then just get one of your research notes situated with the MLA formatting and with this. And if you start just by that organization, you'll be able to tell, am I overwhelmed at this point? Do I need to pause at this point? Or do I have it sorted out? Okay, I'll get this here, I'll get this here, I'll get this here. All right, we're ready to go. So if you've paused the video and taken care of that, great. If you feel like you can just keep going and work as I talk, also fine. But no, you can take this at your own pace and reach out to supports when you need them. So then notice huge at the bottom, I have my key takeaways. So it's a couple of sentences which talk about what the perspective is, why I'm including this resource, what it focuses on, and why I want to use this in my writing. So after I include the quotes, and I would say for most resources, you're going to have a number of these built out with quotes and paraphrases, not just one or two. There are some resources you might have just one or two key quotes, but build it out. More is better. Get as much as you can here. So again, you use this document in your writing instead of having to search through all of your research. So if I go up, one of the things that I can see is here I had a lot of quote dumping. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quotes that I thought were important when I tried this different style. And I can copy and paste that into my research log, or I can just do it in a format like I think this they say, I say is a lot easier for me to read, so I might just include it in this. I write my key takeaways, then I move on to the next one. So one thing I want to do here before I move on is format this with, I'm going to go to indentation options, special indent, I'm going to do a hanging indent. I don't know what that is. That's weird. 1. There we go. Okay. The first line was hanging indent, so I did that. Yay. So then this is a different style of research notes, and I don't really want to rewrite it because I've already done the work, so why redo it? I have what strikes me most. I have all my nuggets, my quotes that I have throughout here, and then my final considerations. I'll put like /key takeaways. All right. Okay, then I have my next source. Again, I'll take the quotes and my paraphrases, I'll put them in here, ensuring that I have the page number, and then I'll make sure my notes are built out, including my key takeaways. Again, so this is something, I'll address this later. Need MLA formatting. For whatever reason, this got copied over in APA, so I need to fix that. And then I have the back and forth. Again, notice I have the page number here. And then key takeaways. So because your work for today asked you to have 4 sources already finished with your research notes, that's what I have done already. And what I need to do is have notes for these additional 8. So I want to make sure that the sources that I have in this final research notes have all my significant sources. You don't have to have 8 sources, but what I will say is quality research and source-based writing takes quality sources. If you have 2, 3, 4 sources, you might start writing and say, well, I don't have anything else to say. Of course you don't, because you haven't read extensive enough research. So you might need to continue to do your research. And that is my cue to say, if you haven't worked with a research librarian, they can help you continue to expand your research. Or if you have a ton of research, you might just want to meet with them and have them help you narrow your focus. Use your resources, research librarians, writing center. Okay, so what I'm going to do for these, oh look, here are my people that I can do. I have the B and the C. So the first thing I'm just going to do is copy those, and I'm going to put them at the top because I know that they're going to fit here. And then I can just copy and paste this. And then I'll paste it under each one. Delete this, and then I'll do this to say Bornschlegel and Catagliano. Say, okay? So I have that ready. And in case you're wondering where these research, where something like this setup is, that was on our module. I'll go to it here. Again, this might take a minute, but I'll remind you of where the link is. And then if we go to our module on interest-based research, or interest-driven research, we have it there. Research notes organization. So, accidentally clicked on that, but you can see research notes organization. So if you click on this, it will take you to this document that gives an overview of your research notes, and you can look that over again and kind of just copy and paste which one you want to do. And this is the I say, or they say, I say style. Okay. So again, if you have questions as you go through this and you want to set up an appointment with the Writing Center, you could walk in to the Learning Commons library top floor and talk to them, or you could go to doan.mywconline.com. Again, we'll have some patience with this. And then you can sign in and select the Writing Center schedule. It will take you to a place where you can show, or where you can sign up for the Writing Center consultations here. Okay, so there's still a number left of this week, but you can already see that things fill up quickly. So lots of evening appointments, and you can always email Jeremy Caldwell to ask him for some appointments too. Okay, so some appointment time left today during our class, and some other spaces left throughout the week, and some weekend time to do it. And again, if you need help, you can also talk to Jeremy Caldwell as well. So take care. If I can answer any questions via email, please send me those questions. Check out the assignment for those assignment details, and I will see you all on Monday.